guess. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Woo-hoo. Tiff was over there texting and I was getting really
I just
nervous.
got a thing on my phone that said that the Sweet Tooth Fairy on Foothill is having my order ready to be picked up on Saturday morning.
So. Delicious. Okay, so today we would like to, as you're joining us, one of our asks is invite your friends to our live show. We would love to have your friends here with us. Let us know where you're joining us from so that we can see you and where you're here from. And Tiff is making it very hard for me to focus on what I'm trying to say.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get the light.
She's adjusting the light. Everyone, let us know where you're joining us from so we can all get to feel that energy of the whole world coming together here. And the other thing is, oh my God, do we have the light ready? Okay, now I can focus. Oh, the other thing that I would love to have you do is share with us something that you're grateful for today. In the Connected Empath, our Empath Facebook group, the Connected Empath, we're doing a 30-day, all of November, I Am Grateful challenge. And it is a feel-good place. Okay, feel-good place in that group. Why don't you share some of what you've loved about the Gratitude Challenge?
I just have loved seeing all the pictures and reading it and feeling all of the energy from the people. Usually each day, this is the 4th day, and I have loved it because it leaves me in joyful tears. Like I can feel everybody's yumminess about the things they're grateful for. Today is asking about what you have to look forward. What is something you're looking forward to? And then yesterday was give a compliment to a stranger and share your experience. That was so awesome. So it's just a really fantastic feel good place to come and share things about yourself. And the pictures are amazing. I am seeing the cutest animal photos and grandchildren and children. Right. And I just love it.
Carrie says she's grateful for the show. Carrie, thank you. We're so glad. We're so glad you're here. Cheryl Winfield, grateful for the cool weather.
Nice.
Belinda is grateful for the challenges in our groups and the ones I added personally to it. Good job, Belinda. And Belinda, we can see your name today, by the way. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. Rita, we're glad you're here. Cheryl, Carrie, we're so glad you're here. Helen, thank you for joining us. Today is a really important topic. And it's what is the #1 secret to peace of mind?
Yep.
And you're going to love this topic. We just finished up our podcast doing the same subject, and it's very, very critical and important that you hear this message today. It's going to really help you. We really, really enjoyed recording it.
I'm feeling very, very calm.
Sedate.
I don't know what happened.
Feels like you might fall asleep.
I think it's probably because we shut all the blinds and it's dark and we've got this ambient light, and then I've got my Christmas tree in the background and my new orchid plant over here, and I'm just like, wow, it's feeling really nice.
My question for all y'all is, when do you put up Christmas if you celebrate it? When do you put up Christmas? At our house, Christmas is up before Thanksgiving.
The week before Thanksgiving.
So that we can enjoy it all the way from Thanksgiving to Christmas.
Yeah. And I did put up my Christmas tree here in the office, which is hilarious because I've never put it up this early, but I don't know what it is. I think because last year we didn't have our family here at the house at all because of COVID. Yeah. It was very traumatic.
It was.
Because I am a Christmas weirdo. And the holidays felt really, really heavy and dark last year. There was so much going on politically. COVID was going nuts. And I just feel so excited to get the tree up in my office. So I decided to do what felt best for me. And people always give me a hard time. They're like, it's not even Thanksgiving. And I'm like, then don't put up your damn tree.
Right. Belinda said, so Belinda, can you only see your own messages? We've had this happening sometimes where people join us, but they can't see anyone else's messages.
Oh, weird.
So Belinda, I feel like an only child on this page. I'm the only one here. Belinda puts her Christmas up after Thanksgiving so that she can give Thanksgiving its due. LOL.
Yes.
Rita says it's always the weekend of Thanksgiving. Helen says 2 weeks before Christmas. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There are some people that put their Christmas tree up the day before Christmas on Christmas Eve. That's part of their tradition. I have my own traditions because and we're going to be talking about this today, is that Jack and I do things the way we like them. Well, or it's like I do the things the way I like them and Jack better like it.
No, here's the deal. Honestly, when it comes to the house on the holidays, this is her domain. You know what I mean? This is where she rules the roost. This is her world, right? You love this.
Yes.
And then I have all of my business stuff, and we don't pee on each other's paper. So
Yeah.
she gives me the space to do my thing, and I give her the space to do her thing, and we celebrate the other in the work that they do and the things that they bring, what she brings to the table.
I feel like what you do in business is a huge benefit to me. It makes everything I do possible, and the things that I do here in our home and on my side of the business is really good for you as well.
Yeah, totally.
So do you feel like you really enjoy what I create for the holidays?
Oh my God. I am the recipient of a gold medal when I married this woman. Like, seriously, the holidays, the food, the deliciousness. Every day when I come home from work, I come walking up the steps, and it feels like Christmas every day, because I'm going to walk in and there's Tiff sitting there, and it feels so good to see her and to be back home and to just, and then tomorrow's date day. So we just have all these amazing, awesome things that we get to enjoy. And it feels so good. So good.
Yeah, I don't know how many of you are this way, so please share. Once the season turns to fall and autumn, it's like the energy of my vibration just explodes in celebration. And I also feel super calm during this time. So I almost feel like nesting. In fact, I nest, and then I start cooking and planning and decorating and having family over. And so, as you can imagine, last year that I couldn't have all the people in my life to come do all these things that I create every year, it was pretty traumatic, I think, for everyone involved. So we did our Halloween family party, which do. Fun. And this is the first year that we've all dressed up. And I dressed up as a witch, and I freaking loved it. I love to dress up. And I told Jack, I said, hey, I've decided we're all going to dress up for Halloween. He goes, I'm not dressing up. And I said, yes, you are. And he goes, no, I'm not. And I said, I never tell you what to do, but you are going to dress up this year.
Yes, I did have a bit of resistance. I worked through it really quick. If
you saw Jack's costume, was he not the most sexy vampire you have ever seen in your life? I surprisingly
had a really good time dressing up.
It was really fun.
Yeah, that very much surprised me. It really did. It was awesome. It was a really fun.
It was great. And we do it every year, and we all walk around this beautiful area that we live and take our granddaughter trick-or-treating, and we all do it as a family. And it's just a great tradition. So it was just really great. And that was just the beginning of so many more fun, delicious celebrations. So I'm really happy this year.
Rita said, most sexy vampire and witch I've ever seen.
Awesome.
Nice. Helen said, you look good, Jack. You look so good. That's so awesome. Okay, so I just want to read through some of the comments here. Leona said that they put up Christmas a day or two after Remembrance Day, which is November 11th here in Canada.
Nice.
Belinda, the most delicious time of the year is from September until the first of the year.
Absolutely.
Let me see here. I put up my Thanksgiving weekend. Oh, I put my Christmas up Thanksgiving weekend until New Year's Day. Yes, Belinda, I decorate the Christmas tree. That is something I do.
Yes. And Jack is the most, and I will post pictures. You will see the tree. He is the most amazing tree decorator in the world. And it's a gift he does for me every year. He does our banister and the Christmas tree. And it's not an easy job. It's very, very time heavy. But when it's done, it literally looks like we live in a Hallmark movie. I'm not kidding. So
yeah, that's an interesting thing about me, I think.
You're very, very good at design.
I do love it. I really do love it. Whether it's a Christmas tree or designing the graphics on our headers for our Facebook page. Like, it's just one of the little joys of life that I really do enjoy.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I like to see the finished product. Okay. So, we have to do our Rebel deck reading. Now, it is a little rambunctious, so hopefully you can handle it. I think you can, because all of you are pretty rambunctious yourselves.
Well, someone asked me what this deck was called, and here is the front of the deck. Rebel deck.
No unicorn.
This is a no unicorn deck. So no lollipops and rainbows. This is Tarot with Attitude Rebel deck. I'm sure you can find them on Amazon. They are very accurate, but they're just so crass. And I love them. We got them from a client and I have been using them. And they're just, it's like giving you a serious message with a little bit of humor, and it lightens it up, but it gets the point across. So I just love these. So we're going to use them.
So come up with your question, anything you would like to have answered. Remember, questions that are like, you know, what do I need to do to have more peace in my life? Or what would be a good way for me to live my purpose? Or what could be getting in the way of me knowing what I want? Like things like that. That will give you a really good answer from the cards. And Tiff is going to draw 3 cards. I have selected my question.
You have already?
Yes, I have.
Wow.
And Sherry, her husband lets her keep her tree up year round.
Wow.
That is really wonderful.
That's very
something
kind of
you
him.
love. That is wonderful.
Absolutely.
That really is. That's beautiful. Okay, get your questions ready, because Mrs. Sexy is going to do a card drawing as we speak. I wish I could sing, because I would do background music.
Da, da. Okay. Oh, that one popped right out. Okay. Let's do the other 2. There we go. And the next one is for that most unspecial viewer. There it is. Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to share your question?
Oh, I wanted to read them.
You're not reading.
Okay, my question is, how can I have the best date day of my life tomorrow?
You want to read these? I'll let you read them.
Okay. Was this number 1?
Yes.
Doesn't matter. Okay, get the fuck outside. Move your ass. That's definitely for me. Your body is pissed at you. That very well could
I would
be
like
mine.
to know whose answer this is.
Yeah, get the fuck outside. Move your ass. Your body is pissed at you. That's card number 1. Card number 2 says, stop fucking whining. No one wants to listen to that shit. Complaining makes you weak. You have the strength to change your world, so do it. That one could be mine. I complain sometimes. It's true.
It's got to answer your question. How to have the best date
Yeah,
day.
I have to not whine, and I need to be outside. They're both for me so far. Okay. Merritt said, you love number 1, or is that your answer, Merritt? Okay, the third one, take a fucking trip. Go see some shit. Do new things. Talk to people cooler than you.
That's it.
Right there is number 3. So number 1, get the fuck outside. Your body is pissed at you. Card number 2, stop fucking whining. No one wants to listen to that shit. Complaining makes you weak. You have the strength to change your world, so do it. And card number 3, take a fucking trip. Go see some shit. Do some new things. Talk to people cooler than you. There you go. Let us know. Rita said mine is 1 and 2 for sure. Damn. Linda, card number 3, taking a trip. Way to go. Namalokai. Hi, Namalokai. Love number 2, and it would be my answer. Stop fucking whining. No one wants to listen to that shit. Belinda, number 1 and 3 could be for me, since I had 2 questions. You get to feel into what the answer is. Merritt, LOL to 3, and living all 3. Take no whining, move, and trip. Good. Carrie, welcome. We're so glad you're here. I haven't seen your name here before. Welcome. 1 and 2 for Carrie. And then a Facebook user, we're not sure who you are, was number 3, take a trip. Oh my God, is this not?
So what's your answer?
Oh, well, really, honestly, all of them feel like for me. Yeah. Because getting outside, which always feels super good. And we do things. We get moving on our date day. No whining. Yeah, I can whine sometimes. I find myself complaining now and then. Zip it up for tomorrow. and then take a fucking trip, do some fun shit, do some new things, go see people cooler than you. I'm all about it. I'm on
Is
a
there
date with my
anyone
wife.
cooler than us?
Right there.
I don't know.
Then you, then me is you.
No, you're cooler than me.
Whatever. So, Cheryl doesn't answer any of my questions, but 1 and 3 resonate, then that answers your question. There you go.
Good.
If it resonates, the beauty is we get to really trust ourselves when answers come through, and we can doubt and go, oh, well, I don't know. When it feels resonant, call it in. That's it. Go for it. Okay. Lindsay said, I swear all 3 usually pertain to my question. Good job, Lindsay. Victoria, thank you for inviting some of our new members of our Connected Empath Facebook group. Rita says, I just got back from the beach, grounding, whining to my angels. That's a good thing. When a rogue wave tossed me off my chair.
What?
Holy shit. And into the water out of nowhere. I think I've got the message now. Thanks.
Wow, Rita.
We're so glad you're alive and joining us here today. Lord. Seriously, Linda, we're so glad you're here. You're taking a road trip Saturday. That will be so fun.
Nice.
Maybe we should drive to Boise again. We'll see. Nemalokai. Oh, we love you too so much. We're so glad you're here, Nemalokai.
Hi, Nemalokai.
Okay, so this topic today is so very, very, very important. It's the number 1 secret to peace of mind. And we're going to go through 7 things that you need to know. But Tiff, tell us the number 1 secret to peace of mind.
The number 1 secret is to stop worrying about what other people think about you.
Wouldn't it be so easy? It's like, okay, I'm done. I'm never going to worry again.
That's the end of the show. Have a good day, everyone.
See you later.
I just told
Love you guys.
Secret. Yeah. How many of you have ever in your life been concerned about what others are thinking about you? If you have, you will understand.
I definitely have.
That it robs you of peace of mind. So this is the number 1 secret to peace of mind is to stop worrying about what other people think about you. So what we're going to talk about today is 7 ways that 7 tools, or not tools, steps, or things that you can do that will really assist you into letting go of that worry about, oh, what are they thinking? Because the truth is, my friends, it really doesn't matter what anyone is thinking about you. And I think it was Eleanor Roosevelt that said, what someone thinks about you is none of your business. And it's very true. I respect that comment so much because the truth is, my friends, people are going to be projecting how they feel about themselves onto you, and that's how they're going to see you. So oftentimes people don't see the real you anyway. So you being able to really love and enjoy yourself and project that energy out forward is the way to peace of mind, because what other people think doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, let's jump in. This is super important. Kelly Salmon's welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Hey, Kel.
He says, I used to, but not anymore. I got no time for that.
Got no time for that shit.
Yeah, that's good.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So let's jump in with number 1.
So number 1, do you want to share it?
Let's see. It's about accepting yourself as an empath. Can you understand how important it is that you know and understand that you're an empath? Because if you don't, you're going to be doubting yourself all the time. And not only that, other people are going to be saying negative things to you about you.
So accepting that you are an empath and that it's actually a gift and not a curse is critical, right? And I hear so many people say, I'm glad I'm an empath sometimes, but it really is a curse. And it's just a perception of how you experience it. So here's the deal. As an empath, you are experiencing lots of deep emotions, and we tend to kind of focus on the negatives because when things are so good, it's just like, oh, we forget about that very easily when we start feeling not that great. So the truth is, if you could really accept that you are an empath and it is a gift, then you're going to be projecting that energy of confidence outward. And that's what you're going to attract by the law of attraction to you. And I am so, so grateful to be an empath. Can I say, I experience things so deeply, and I appreciate my spiritual gifts. I get to use them in my life every single day, my life is so full of yummy spiritual upliftment daily, and I just freaking love it. Some of the aspects of being an empath, just like every aspect of being any other kind of energy, has got its downside for sure. So we're not saying, oh, pretend that you don't have any of the hardships. There's a lot of challenges that comes with being an empath, but man, I would never, ever give it away. I am so grateful for it.
And and just like being such a deep feeler and accepting this about yourself is where the power really comes in, to just stand in yourself, the good, the bad, the ugly, the ups, the downs, right? Because it's all of it. This life, being a human, is about all of that.
Yeah.
It's not just about one. So definitely accepting you're an empath is key.
Yes.
And if any of you here on this call with us today don't know if you're an empath or not, we have an assessment that I would love to send to you. So connect with me or Victoria. Just find us and we'll get you a link to our empath assessment so you can measure and see how much of an empath you are. Okay? We'll definitely get that out. Okay, let's go to number 2.
Find other empaths. That's why we created the Connected Empath group. I spent many, many times and hours in different groups for empaths. And what I found was that they were very draining, and I felt a negative vibe going on. And I was like, this is not good. Like, we need a place where people can go and feel uplifted. And so we created a couple of years ago the Connected Empath, and now we have thousands of members. And it's such a place of upliftment. And I love it this month too, because like Jack shared earlier, we're having the 30 days of gratitude where you get to share a specific thing you're grateful for every day. And it's so fun. It's the most meaningful thing that I read in my day. And I just love it. I shared that earlier, but I just feel like our page is just so good at uplifting. So if you're not feeling that great, you can always get on the page. We're very serious about our rules, and we keep it very high vibe so that it's a place where you can come and have support. Because you know what? If you're in a group with like-minded people, all the other stuff that other people are telling you outside of that group that you're associating with, you don't really give a shit about anymore. You're just like, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. And there's a whole group of people here that totally understand me, get me, feel the same way, relate to me, and will support me. And so you can go and do your thing. See ya.
Luann, we're so glad you're here. Luann said, I agree, Tiff. Knowledge is powerful. And I wouldn't change being an empath now that I know.
Awesome.
Yeah, Helen loves the positivity in the Connected Empath group. Yes, if you're not a member of the group, because this is streaming on our private pages and YouTube as well. If you're not a member of our Connected Empath Facebook group, join today. Like, just ask to join. It's free, and it really is fabulous.
Yes. Okay. Number 3, be selective. This is a good one.
It is. Be
selective on who you go to for advice.
Very, very important.
How many of you have gone to someone to get advice, and had a very negative experience? Please share. Say yes. And if you want to share anything about it, go for it. You have to be very, very selective. And this is how you go about doing it. When asking for advice, go to someone that you know will support your sensitivity and will be experiencing success in the thing that you are asking for advice on. It's kind of like going to a business coach that is there to teach you how to make $1 million and they haven't crossed that threshold yet. It's like you want to find people that you can trust that really support your sensitivity and are actually experiencing the success in the area that you're asking advice about. Okay.
That's so important.
And why is this important to not caring about what other people think? Because if you can find someone in your life that will give you good input. You're going to have the support that you need that will really support you in your own confidence level. And then again, you'll be projecting outward and be receiving more people coming in that will treat you the way that you feel about yourself. And it's pretty rough when you go to people at advice and they're like, you know, if you would just stop being such a baby about everything, then you'd probably be fine. I mean, why would you want to go to someone and say, I have this great idea. I'd love to be a healer and a coach. And someone's like, oh yeah, coaches never succeed.
Right?
Why would you want to do that?
Yeah, Rita said, I grew up in that and I have learned not to get advice. Luann said, me, and I've gone, what the fuck, never again. Namalokai, yes, and it's harmed me instead of helping me. It's very crucial to follow your intuition, right?
Yes.
And as an empath, you're such a deep feeler, and you learning, you accepting you're an empath, and then trusting that you have this beautiful intuition that you're even more in touch with, that you can be more in touch with than 80% of the population because of your sensitivity. It's like your built-in navigation system.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the deal, and I know I've talked about this 100 times already, but there's no reason to really give advice either unless you're asked. Nobody really wants to be advised unless they're going after advice. You know, we have some people come in here that go through and read people's comments and things and give them advice on what they think. And I always contact them and say, this is not allowed on the page. We call it crosstalk. And, you know, Jack and I, if we ever need advice, we go to very, very educated people in the very thing that we're trying to get advice from, to get the advice that we're looking for. And then we make a decision if we even agree with it or not. But if you're going to just whoever to get advice about what you're doing, or you want to share all these things that you're thinking about, if you don't encounter people that support you in your sensitivity, it could really play a role in knocking you down pretty far. Okay. So this is really important to remember.
Luann said, people only agree with you if they're comfortable with it. And if not, they try to change you.
That's very true, my friend.
Sage wisdom.
Very, very true. Yes.
It is.
Okay. Number 4, define your own core values and get your life in sync with them.
Very, very important.
So what this means is it's time for you to pay attention to what's important to you instead of what's important to others about you or for you. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Pay attention to what is important to you. Look at it instead of paying attention to what other people feel is important for you or about you. So core values. What is one of your core values?
One of my core values is my relationship with myself and being able to be really connected to my own yes, what's right for me, knowing how to know my yes. I honestly didn't have a good understanding of what was right for me because in my growing up years, I was very codependent and always trying to do things that I thought would make everyone around me happy and comfortable for myself, of course, so then I could feel okay. But once I recognized what I was doing and began to really tap into the power of me and to trust myself, and accept myself and to identify what a yes was for me, that just changed everything. And to me, that falls in my relationship with myself. If I don't put that at the top of my core values, every other value that I have will suffer. And so that's one of mine. How about you?
And I would love to know one of your core values, friends, as I'm sharing. One of my core values is my marriage. The reason being is that we are a team and everything that we do in life, we do together. So our whole business is set up, you know, as a team, our life, family, everything is a team. And so one of the first things I think of in the morning is how can I strengthen my marriage today? Now, for many people, that's not a core value, and that's totally cool. That's why it's important for you to pay attention to what your core values are, because my core values are not going to be yours and yours are definitely not going to be mine. And we have a tendency in this world to put boxes on people and say, okay, one of your core values needs to be marriage, having children, and going to college and doing this. But it's like what we're really seeing out in the world at this point is everybody has got something going on. It's quite different than the next person. So it's really important that you decipher what your core values are, aside from what you've been told they should be, and get your life in sync with those things. So let's see, what are
Rita said,
sharing?
as an empath, number 4, this one can be a huge challenge. My core values, honesty, integrity, and love.
Awesome.
Cheryl Winfield, her marriage. Leona said, me too. Namalokai, I love that. Self-love is my number 1. And it makes me not give an F about what who says about me. I love me for me. If you can't deal with it, get out of here. Right? Tenacity. Merit says tenacity, that strong drive to keep going. That's awesome.
Awesome. See, isn't it awesome to hear everyone's values? Because then once you know what people are sharing, it kind of enlivens your brain to think, what are my core values? I have a lot of core values. And I design my life, and so does Jack. Very implicit. We're very implicit about it because without living in those core values, you can't really have peace of mind. And once you start getting in sync with your values, then it really doesn't matter what other people are thinking because you're too busy creating your own life with your own values.
Yeah, and if you don't really identify what your values are, you're going to be living true to other people's values.
Something that's coming in pretty strong, just from the energy that I know that I need to speak to. It's a tiny bit off what we were just saying, but it kind of goes back to the advice part. One of the really powerful things of being a healer and an empath and someone that is here to serve and help other people, of course, you have to take care of yourself. But when you are working with others or even in relationship, I had talked about already about not giving advice. There's something really powerful about being able to just sit and listen and observe. People will come to you if they want your opinion about something or if they want your advice about something, they'll typically ask you. Otherwise, it's time for you to listen unless you're sharing a familiar experience of understanding. This is the key component to good communication. If you will listen to me right now, this will change your relationships. So if you're sitting and talking to someone and you're listening, and you really want to understand them, you'll keep your opinions or advice to yourself unless they ask you, well, what do you think about this? Then, it's like, there you go. There's your open doorway. But one of the things that's important to remember is to interject your understanding by association. So when someone is sharing, I really had this really rough relationship with a narcissist and I just don't know how to get out of it. It would be very easy for you to say, well, this is what I did and this is what you should do. That will cause resistance in the relationship. But if you were to say, I totally understand, I've been in that very same situation, it was very painful, so I totally get it, then the energy is open. And if they feel so inclined, they'll be like, well, how did you get out? And then the door is open for you to move in. And this is a really powerful way in communication. This is not necessarily about this topic, but this came in very, very strong for me to address right now from the energy that I was reading. So I'm just letting you know this is a really powerful thing to know. Okay. There we go.
Namalokai said, damn, Tiffany Walker, that was for me with my kiddos. I need to shut up and listen more.
Awesome.
Good job. Okay. There you go.
Okay, my friends, let's move to number 5.
I love this one.
Face your shadow.
Oh, yeah, because you got one. You may
you do. Nope. Carl Jung, thank you very much.
You've got a shadow. I've got a shadow. We've all got a shadow.
So people are like, what the hell is a shadow? What's my shadow? I've always called it the dark horse. Other people call it other things, but it really is called the shadow. And all the shadow is the part of yourself in the unconscious mind that you're not consciously aware of. And they're the stories you tell yourself about yourself that you deem as unacceptable to the world.
So you pretend they don't exist.
Yeah. So you pretend they're not there. And here's the deal, my friends. Once you can own your imperfection and that you're never going to be absolutely perfect, that you are full of just as many flaws as you are as delicious parts, you will feel more whole. When you feel more whole, you have a different experience in confidence, and what other people say do not bother you. When you're busy trying to hide your shadow from yourself, even,
it is from yourself.
It's pretty wild. It's a pretty wild thing. Here's the deal. We all have the dark side. So think of all the wonderful, amazing things about you, and think of the opposite and the extreme on the other side, and that dwells within you as well. You can argue it all you want, but the truth is we're all full of everything. And once those things come up to the surface, our nasty, gnarly parts, and you're like, oh, wow, I'm feeling kind of hateful about this person today. Or, oh my gosh, I'm feeling jealous. Or, oh my gosh, I'm feeling less than this person today. Then you're shedding a light on the shadow, and it no longer is shadow because it integrates into the conscious mind. And it's just part of being a human being. Yes, you can work through those things to eradicate the silly belief that we have about ourselves. But until you face your shadow, you can't even feel that feeling of wholeness because you're always trying to avoid part of yourself. If you're avoiding part of yourself, how are you going to feel completely whole? Not going to happen. Does that make sense?
A really good way to see shadow in action so you can kind of grasp it. Think of road rage. So if you're ever driving and someone cuts you off and you get all pissed, flip a finger, whatever you do, maybe it's not you, maybe that's just me. And when you find yourself in that situation, that's pure shadow, because our shadow has to make them wrong so we can feel powerful.
Yeah.
Because we have a belief somewhere inside of ourselves that we aren't powerful.
You know, every time you talk about the road rage, it makes me think of when people take a parking spot from what
she has. Her shadow is loud and wants to fucking fight. Oh, wow.
I'm owning part of my shadow for all of you right now.
We can pull in and we're waiting for a parking spot. You know how it is. Someone slips in it before you get in it. You've been waiting longer than them. And you're like, fuck you. What's wrong with you? Well, most of us do it inside or say it under our breath. Not her. She's like ready to like jump out of the car, roll the window down. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, babe, they could be packing heat. Like, you got to zip it up. You can't get in a fist fight.
I am owning it. It doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't. But boy.
Jack usually has to like put his hands on me and get me to calm down. It's the stupidest thing, but it's like part of my shadow. And it's like, I literally, my body starts going, I'm like.
It's because her shadow, I mean, really, honestly, in that moment, what's happening in her subconscious mind is coming up, and that person has to be wrong, and she has to make them wrong and prove how wrong they are so that she can feel powerful. And it's like, so someone taking her parking place is quote unquote robbing her of her power.
Oh yeah.
According to her shadow. So her shadow.
I get so it's funny because it's ridiculous. After I do it, I'm like, what in the hell is wrong with me? But it's one of those things that you can definitely see my shadow. I've had some I think one time I was driving on the road and this guy cut me off, and I think I rolled down the window, flipped him off, and went like this, like a snotty little hag. And it was one of my church leaders in my church. I was like, oh, great. Well, I deserved that, didn't I? Anyway, I had to apologize to him at church on Sunday.
So this is our shadow. We all have shadow. There's not one of us on this planet that don't. We like to pretend that we don't, but it's hiding underneath. It's lurking. And the problem with it is that part of you has to feel weak and powerless and victimized so that then you can find your power and rise up and push them down, right?
Yeah, and you know, it really is the parts of you that you feel are unacceptable. I really can own my shadow, even publicly, because this is now captured forever on the net. And I'm really okay with it. Even if someone were to criticize me, I'm like, I know it's really dark. But it's like once you realize that you are a human being having a human experience here of duality. So all duality is a life experience where there are opposites in everything.
Yep.
Okay.
Good, bad, light, dark, happy, sad.
Yes.
Mean,
up,
nice.
down.
Yes.
Everything has its opposite. And we have that in our own psyche as well. And it's okay. It's actually part of creating balance within us, because if we can own our shadow and really take a look at it when it comes up to rear its little head, then it's our springboard into the light. And it's really a beautiful thing and creates balance within us if we will own it. We will feel very unbalanced if we're always trying to pretend
that it's not happening.
Yeah, that we're not an asshole on the road.
So basically it's robbing us of energy, right? Because we put so much energy into trying to pretend it's not happening. That's not us. We wouldn't do that. We don't feel that way. We're not that way. We put so much energy into it. For number one, it robs us of our life force energy. Number two, it's buying into the lie that you're powerless, right? So all of that is something, once you recognize it and really go, oh my God, I really have that. It's not about in that moment going, oh, thank God I know, now I will never do that again. No, it's about allowing it to come up, accepting that this is a part of you. And in that moment, it is no longer unconscious, and you will be so much more aware of what's happening, and you won't have to make that person wrong as fast or as hard, because you realize this is your shadow telling you a lie.
Yeah. And you know what's really interesting is I think most people feel afraid of their shadow because they think if they look at it and see it, then they're going to behave poorly. I have shadow components of myself come up every single day.
Me too, every single day.
And I choose not to act in shadow. So it doesn't mean that I'm always going to be nasty on the road. I could have something really nasty pop up in me to say to someone, and 9 times out of 10, I'm never going to say that, because I realize that's just my shadow side trying to bring up some of my insecurity, and it's not necessary. I've gotten really good at not acting in shadow, but man, I sure have one, just like everyone.
There's no getting around it.
It doesn't mean that you're going to be a terrible person. It just means you're like, wow, that is a part of me that I was not aware of, and whoa, that is intense.
And a beautiful side effect of accepting this about yourself every day in all the ways that it shows up is that you will be able to be in relationship with other people so much easier.
Yes.
Because everyone's in their shadow, and it's not our fucking job to tell them they're in their shadow.
No.
That's our shadow.
We can think to ourselves,
listen,
that's their shadow.
Part of our shadow wants to make them wrong because they're in theirs. But ultimately it allows us to accept ourselves, right? When we accept our shadow, therefore we're accepting other people in a bigger, deeper way. It gets easier, so much easier.
Okay, so here's something else, is when you do recognize your shadow and you speak about it, like I'm sharing with you today, part of my shadow of being a really nasty hag with parking lot issues. It's really nasty. It is. I've gotten pretty good at not doing it, but sometimes I just am jumping out of the car, saying all kinds of rude things, starting a fight. It's been a while, but it does happen. Because I'm sharing that with you, it's giving you permission to own your own freaking shadow. Does that make sense? So when you can speak about it and you can be vulnerable enough to share, it's really a powerful thing. When you live authentically and you allow people to see that you are a human being that has all kinds of aspects to you, it gives other people permission to experience the same, and they feel like, oh, maybe I'm not so unacceptable. I think that I have said some things that people are like, I cannot ever imagine you doing that. And I'm like, oh, trust me. Ask Jack. My shadow comes out in this way, and they're like, wow. And then they feel a little more relaxed and even safe with me, or like, well, let me tell you what I've done. And I'm like, oh, I hear you, sister or brother. I hear you. And then there's connection.
So many people here totally identified with your story. They're
absolutely
like, that's me. And you know what Merritt just said? I must be off. But once Jack found my shadow, I thought it was kind of cute. No, you're right on the money. The more we can just kind of laugh at ourselves and go,
wow, funny.
You're a naughty little bitch. Good God. And just allow it. You are in such a deeper state of acceptance and out of resistance.
Yeah, that's
yourself.
really
it's
amazing.
Really amazing. It's just, we're just being naughty little kids. You know what I mean? There's just this.
Sigmund Freud called it the id. the id part of us.
Yeah.
And it was the spoiled little narcissistic brat is what he called it. And when Carl moved from working with Sigmund Freud, he's like, let's talk about something called the shadow.
Yeah.
And he really took it down to a place that now everyone that studies the mind it talks about the shadow and what it is. It's a very powerful understanding to have.
Yeah. Faruza, hi. We're so glad you're here. It's good to see you here. Lindsay said, my shadow is really dark. Since my last session with Jack, I've been focusing on recognizing and accepting my shadow side. What I'm noticing is it's helping me work through any guilt I've had associated with that side of myself.
Good job, Lindsay.
Yes.
You're so awesome.
Yes, that's amazing. And I have been actually considering starting to do some little live things on Instagram and just jump on live. So if any of you want to jump on and have me help you identify little pieces of your shadow, send me a private message in Messenger. Okay, get a message to me, and we'll schedule.
That's going to be exciting.
Yeah, really fun.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Number 6. We gotta keep moving on. I could talk about shadow for a year. Okay. Number 6. Feel your feelings, good and gnarly. And that kind of goes along with shadow. And this is really important. This is so important, my friends. When you can feel your feelings and accept them, and know that they will, once you feel them, they will wash through you and release. This will change your life.
Yes.
You know, as kids, how many of you as kids you were told by someone that you loved, that you look up to, stop being so sensitive. Stop acting.
Crying.
Stop crying.
You don't
that's
feel
not
that
how
way.
You feel.
Right. Right.
My grandmother was the most amazing person ever, but she did do one thing that I was like, and this is when my shadow would come out. She would say, honey, you don't feel that way. And I would be like, yes, I do. And she'd be like, no, that's not very kind. And I'm like, I don't care. I feel that way. And she's like, honey, you don't feel that way. And the truth is I did feel that way. And it was my shadow that was coming up. But when I felt my feelings and I was able to just like share and talk about, you know, one great thing I'm super grateful for with my husband, Jack, is that when I am feeling certain things, even though I know it's absolutely ridiculous, I can say, yeah, I'm kind of feeling insecure in this way, or I feel really angry and hateful about this person. And oftentimes he'll listen and have some really good input about something maybe I haven't thought about, that I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so true. Or I'll just cry and he'll just hug me and then I feel better. It's because it's a really powerful thing. If there's someone in your life that you feel like you can really trust to share some of your feelings,
that don't try to fix you, that they don't try to fix you or give you advice.
Yeah. If you don't have that person in your life, write it down on paper, and when you're done writing, throw it away.
Or go for a walk.
Very helpful.
Or go for a walk and say it out loud. Like whatever you can do to let it exist, then you don't have to fight it anymore. It'll give you so much more energy every single time. Feel your negative feelings.
Yeah. And feel your positive ones. Those are easy.
Oh, yeah. Positive ones will be even bigger and around more because you're allowing the negative ones to move through and out.
Yeah. If you stuff your negative feelings, pretty soon you won't have positive ones. How's that for something to think about? If you stuff the negative feelings and refuse to feel them and release them, you pretty soon won't have positive feelings. Very true. Once you feel it all, then you get to feel it all. You get the freedom of feeling. Your feelings are important. They matter. Whether they are positive or negative, or whether you're feeling stuff that isn't even true, it doesn't matter. You are a person with feelings, especially you, the empath. Okay. Okay. Our last one, number 7. Let go of past mistakes.
Yes, and I would say past stories as well, because Faruza just said, my mother told me I was an accident when I was 8. So really like letting go of our past, the past things that we deem unacceptable, the past stories we've heard other people say about us. The reason they exist is because we grab it and pull it and plop it right here in our lap every day. And then it becomes our present reality. When you realize this and you go, you know what do I choose to believe?
Yeah. And everyone, is a mistake really a mistake? Is my question for you. Is your so-called self-proclaimed mistakes, are they really mistakes? It's a valid question because everything that you've experienced and everything that you've done in your entire life has brought you to who you are right now, and who you are right now is pretty magnificent. And without those experiences, you wouldn't be standing where you're standing. And so I really don't believe in mistakes. I believe in things that feel more aligned than other things, and that we learn from these things that don't feel as good. But as for mistakes, it's like, let's give ourselves a bit of a break. Honestly, from all the many years that we've worked with, I don't know how many people, thousands of people, we have talked, or we have listened and listened and realized that everyone is basically doing the best they can with what they understand at a given time. And when their understanding expands, their behaviors change into more aligned ways of living with the truth of love. And until then, we're kind of all just making these mistakes until we figure things out. That's what life is about.
Okay, I love what Lindsay said. She says that makes me think of Bob Ross's Happy Accidents. So I'm sure when he's painting and does a little
100%.
It's like, oh, look, this is going to turn into something that looks lovely.
You know what?
I love that.
Thank you for
Lindsay.
sharing
Yeah,
that.
I want to use that.
One of our kids brought that up recently,
love that.
and the fact that Lindsay, you brought it up today, it's a really powerful thing.
It really is.
Everything that we do is leading us to more and better. So you're all doing okay. We're all doing okay. And 10 years from now, we're going to look back and go, what was I thinking? That was such a mistake. And really, it's just like, we're just operating from what we know at any given time. And until we know better, we don't, we can't really do different than what we're doing.
Oh, I love that too. Kelly Jazz, there are no wrong notes.
Oh, that's a really awesome.
Really good metaphors.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah. So my friends, everything is okay. And when you can let go of past mistakes, the power that this will give you is you'll be able to move forward without letting them go. You're going to be trying to stay safe so you don't make any more mistakes, right? And so one thing to always remember is everything that you truly desire that you don't have right now is outside of your comfort zone. So everything that you want that you don't have at this moment is outside of that comfortable place. And it's okay to feel uncomfortable. And there's no way to move outside of your comfort zone until you let go of your past. Otherwise, you'll be too afraid. You'll sabotage yourself to death. And then you'll be like, why can I not move forward? And it's because you got to let go of the fear of making mistakes because you've made so many mistakes. Once you do that, then you can start stepping out of your comfort zone and really making a change in your life for the things that you want.
I'm so glad you talked about that part. And it really is about letting go of the old story and embracing something new. And it's going to feel uncomfortable. It really is letting go of the old story of what someone has said about you or to you.
Oh man.
And choosing to believe a new thought. This is another topic for another day, but we get to choose the thoughts we think. Our thoughts, that's the place where we have our power. It's in our thoughts. And we get to choose. Do we pull the past and plop it right here on the present? Or do we let it go and say, no, this is what I choose to believe. I choose to believe that good things happen for me every day, right? Instead of bad things always happen. Mm-hmm. Good things, I choose to believe good things happen every day.
You have such a powerful mind. That's one thing I really love about you. You teach it to all of our students and clients, and you live it. And it's such an example to me. And I was just thinking about how powerful your mind is, because some of your life mantras are like, I will never miss a thing. And you never do. You get what I
get what I want.
I get whatever I want. And he does. Literally.
Good things always happen for us.
Yep.
Everything always works out. And I have chosen these thoughts. You have the power. We have the power right here. And we get to pay attention, but it's all about self-awareness.
Yeah.
We have to really be true, whether it's shadow or it's our unconscious thoughts, and we just look around at what's going on in our life. And if we want something different, then we make new decisions, right? to have something more. And the biggest thing about really finding your peace is letting go of what other people are thinking about you.
Yeah, because what they think doesn't really matter.
It's really about them.
Yeah. They're just trying to figure out their own crap.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad we could share this with you today. And the last thing I want to share is it's important for all of us to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because once you step out into the unfamiliar, you get uncomfortable. And it's like, oh yeah, this is one of those things. And pretty soon that becomes comfortable. And then you get to expand even more and get uncomfortable again. So this is life. And you're all doing a really great job with where you are. You're doing awesome. You're here on the call today to learn more. And the more knowledge you glean, the more wisdom you absorb. So and the more wisdom you offer.
And the more power you stand.
Yeah. So this is about empowered living as an empath. And you are a gifted healer on this planet. Just your presence is healing the people around you and the world. So it's not like you have to run out and be some famous person to live your mission. You being born here and choosing to accept you being an empath as a gift is a mission in itself. And you are here to change the world with your very presence. So we're so glad that you were here today. Thank you so much.
Your presence makes a really big difference for us. So thank you. It means a lot that you give your time to bring your energy to us as we're giving you ours. It means a lot. Thank you. We're very grateful for you. We'll be back again next week, same time, same place with another awesome topic and just rolling out the good news, because there's a lot of good news. And we're always glad to be here. We really are. Thank you for joining us. By the way, Tiff's Jelly Bellies are almost gone. You know how I'm always eating her.
You know how I told you that he's got a snack problem.
We were just talking about how she's got to get some more picked up.
Hey, one thing before we go, I'd love to know, do any of you feel like you have an addiction to any kind of yummy treat? Please share it on the strand. Mine is definitely at this point a boba drink, the coconut taro boba drink. I'm going to go get it right now. If I don't watch myself, I would get it every single day. That's like $250 a month of boba. And I had to add it up to try to scare myself away from this addiction. And it's not working. But I appreciate the conversations about the delightful things that we love. Chocolate and coffee. Mm-hmm. Boba is my life. My life has now become a boba life.
Okay, really quick. She is a boba lover. Firuza.
I love ginger candy too a lot.
It's always at the same time, and it's 1:30 p.m. our time, Mountain Standard Time. We started an hour ago, so whatever time it is in England, it's probably 8:30 p.m. your time.
Look,
okay, let's see what people love.
I have ginger candy in my drawer in my office.
Rita, chocolate and coffee.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Kelly Salmon's boba. boba. I think he's talking about yours. Mine is
Kelly. Is it because you love boba, or are you just saying boba because of me?
Namalokai, right? Ginger, it's my crack. Luann, caramel and chocolate, or caramel chocolate. Oh, banana Kelly. Shake is Kelly.
Really?
Simon's.
I don't know if I've ever had a banana shake.
How interesting. Lindsay, I'm addicted to matcha lattes.
Where do you get your matcha latte? Is it from Starbucks? Any chocolate dessert?
Kelly, because of you. Oh, that's awesome. He loves boba. Namalokai, wow, twin. I even had it in the hospital. Cheryl Winfield, chocolate. Ooh, yeah, right. Lots of chocolate. I love my coffee. I have to say, an Americano is my gig.
Tell them what you order at Starbucks.
I always get I always get the hot blonde Americano size grande.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel a little jealous of that.
The hot blonde.
Yeah, because, well, the truth is I was blonde my entire life.
That's right. That's who I think
until I went gray, and then I went brown.
Mary, you got to get yourself a booba because they're delicious.
A booba.
Yeah. That's super fun. Okay, you guys, Firuza, we changed time this week. Oh, that's why you came late.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
Firuza, what time is it for you right now? And you're in England or Great Britain. Where are you? And what time is it for you? That would help me so I know about the time change. Kelly's liking the hot blonde Americano. Yeah. I tried a mango boo-boo because of Tiff.
Did you like it?
Okay, so
it's 8:30.
And you're in England, right, Feruza?
8:30 p.m.
Okay, so 6 hours now instead of 7. Okay, perfect. Okay, you guys. Okay, you guys. We love you very, 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 very much. We'll be back here 1:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time next week, same places, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
Until then, come and join the Connected Empath if you're not already there. Love you guys.